And thank you so much, Jim Holly here once again on this Saturday morning. And once again, but thank you so much for your patience with me. I realize many of you wanted to have, we missed like 30 some calls based upon this interview that we have, Gary Brown. And again, I had no control on the fact that the phones were just really down. Something happened last night. And I apologize to you because I know how many of you really look forward to this interview. And so I just want you to know we'll bring it back in a couple of weeks. And make sure that you have an opportunity to basically talk to and ask the questions. Also, the young man that the last caller, this is a number I want to give you: 386-9727. 386-92. Let me say it again: 386-9727. 9727 for the RAP program to help you out. And so, again, if you don't get it, just call me later on, and we'll be able to get this number to you. We want to make sure everybody's helped. And I know that there are various, like Gary said, it's not perfect, but I appreciate everybody's call, and I hope that indeed that you know that we will do everything we can the next time to make sure that you get your calls in. Right now, as I indicated, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And the reason why I'm saying that, because it really is. This is the day, and we ought to rejoice and be glad in it. But also because I have a special guest this morning. And again, if I could just have my double shot, if I could, thank you. And this beautiful young lady from New Jersey is visiting Detroit. And I'm going to do everything I can to say your name and say it.
Seychelle Elise.
That's a beautiful Seychelle Elise. And Miss Elise is here on promoting her album here in the area. And we're just happy to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
One of the things I was really excited about seeing you and hearing about you, and of course, is the fact that your manager is the son of someone I worked with when I first came to the city of Detroit, where he and I built one of the largest youth choirs in the city of Detroit, Jack Folsom. And so it's just good, so when I heard that name, then I certainly pulled me and gravitated me to him and anything he's involved in. Then I met Jack Folsom's grandson, so this is nice. Yeah. So you really brought back a lot of memories through your connection, so I want to thank you for that. But I'm really happy to have you here. Now, give us an idea of who you in terms of the background, how you get into singing. I guess like everybody else, start in church. Are you in church? Go ahead.
Okay, well, I started singing when I was very young, like 3 years old. I used to listen to a lot of jazz. My family was really big on music, so a lot of jazz, the R&B, the standards, big band. My grandmother was a big Johnny Mathis fan. And I started going to church when I was about 8 years old. And it was just a desire of mine. My mom worked overnight, so a lot of times she was tired, but she made arrangements for me to go to church when I wanted to go to church. Sure. And I sang my first solo in church, and I definitely felt a connection there, and I was saved by the time I was 10. I always knew that I had a special connection to the Holy Spirit, and it was something that I wanted to do. Of course, as a singer, you go through different experiences. Sure. The only formal training I had was classical music. And I did sing R&B, but it's just like, there was this constant pull, like, okay, nothing's working out for me here. I know that the Lord was, he was like, okay, well, I'm just going to wait for you to answer my calling. Like, I'll wait. And, once I answered the calling, it's just been a blessing, and it's been a great ride since then.
That's really great. I want people to know also that we have a sample of your talent, because we're going to give an opportunity for you to sing by way of a video. And so I just want them to know that they get a chance not only to see the beauty of the person, but also the inside beauty of the person by way of your voice.
Thank you.
I just want them to know that. And so how did you basically, I'm sure that this pool that you were talking about, did you just come to realize this is what you want to do, is do this for full time, that you want to do this in terms of professionally done? Is this your goal and aim?
Yes, this is definitely something that I've wanted to do for a while. I sang in the gospel choir when I was in high school, and it's, of course, like I said, I was classically trained, but we actually had a regular gospel choir, and it was always so intense.
Okay.
I always felt like I really felt the connection with Christ when I would sing certain songs in school, and it was just like, this was a school setting where they try to take the Lord out of schools,
Sure. Yeah.
And like trying to do the R&B, it just didn't feel the same. I didn't feel complete. Like with my gift, I felt like I was always struggling. But then it felt it felt like with easing into gospel, because it just felt like, the Lord was like, okay, now I'm going to help you because now you see what I want you to do. And, so I'm just thankful that I answered the call.
Your father and mother, were they preachers?
No, they were not.
Okay.
No, my father was a gymnast,
Okay.
and my mother was a phlebotomist.
Okay.
And like I said, she worked overnight, and I just told her one day, like I woke up one day and literally said, I want to go to church. And my mom was like, well, I'm tired.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do. And my grandmother was sick. She liked to go to church, but she was sick. My family wasn't very religious, but they loved the Lord. But they had been scarred from a few churches, so they had a quiet worship at home.
Well, who was your idol? I mean, who was the person that you really felt like that if I get to this point, I want to be like them? Or if there was something like that in your life, who influenced you?
Well, I definitely looked up to CeCe Winans.
Oh, did you?
Absolutely, I love the Winans. I grew up listening to the Winans.
Yeah.
So my mother was a huge fan of BB and CeCe. So I used to listen to CeCe's album "Alone in His Presence." I sang my first church solo was from off of that album. His Strength is Perfect. And I'm like, you know what? I want to do that. It was CeCe and it was Whitney.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm coming from Newark, New Jersey, Whitney. When I was 6 years old, she sang at the Super Bowl, and I remember the way that she made me feel. I was just, the tears were flowing. I'm 6 years old. It was on my 6th birthday, the Giants versus the Buffalo Bills, and I will never forget standing in front of that TV and like boo-hooing, bawling. And my mother didn't understand why I was crying so much. I'm like, you know what? I want to be a singer. I want to make people feel the way she made me feel. And it was just like, history from there.
That's really great. As I indicated to you, that we have Miss Elise album, and we're going to give you a sample of it, and so then we'll come back and talk a little bit more, but we'll give you an idea where you can get it and how you can get it, and how you can get in touch with her if you talk about getting an engagement with her. But she's here doing a tour and promoting her album, and of course, being young. Let me ask you this before I go to the album, go to the song. One of the things that I've been pastoring for 45 years, and I think one of the things that I really that God has always given me is to be flexible in terms of music.
Absolutely.
And I know that there are times when I feel like I'm a dinosaur when it comes to this music piece, but I come to realize that it's going to be people like you, young people, Kirk Franklin, that has so much to gospel, and Donnie Kirkland and all these guys, and young people like yourself that's going to be bridging this music. So talk to them a little bit. How do you feel in terms of where music is really going? Do you feel like that you're gonna have it where this world is now taking everything out of everything that has ethics and morals and where do you think where music is going to go for the future?
I believe that where we are now, in this climate of, the world, is so much hate going on. Music is the one thing that constantly it's like the constant within us. And I feel like the direction that gospel music is going in, we're able to appeal to all people of all walks of life, every age, every race, even people of other religions. And I think that that's what's so important, because it has that one driving message. One God, he's got many names, but there's one God. And I worship, I believe and I worship Jesus. I trust Jesus. And, it's up to us to don't let the banner trail the ground. You know how they say that? I mean, to look at our elders who was able to go out there and make the music, and whether it was traditional or non-traditional, the message was still there. The message is still the same. And that's where, you know, I really strive to make sure that that driving message is still there, that, you know, Christ is Lord, and I think Jesus is dope. I say it all the time. Big brother Jesus is dope. And I really just want to drive the message. It's okay to believe in something. It's okay to live right. It's okay to be good and to do good in the world. And it's even better to sing about it.
Now, this song that we got coming up, tell me a little bit about it.
So this is my first single off the album A Sinner's Prayer. It's called Stand My Ground. I released a video last year. I was really excited about this. It just talks about you know, going through the struggle and not being discouraged by it. This was the very first video that I shot in my city of Newark, with all my friends and my loved ones, my kids in the video. And it's just it was a really great experience. So this is Stand My Ground off the first album, my first album.
Let's see what it looks like.
In this battle, I'm a warrior. I'm protected by the armor. Victory will come right when I'm about to lose it. If I stand my ground and lift the way that the Savior wants, though it's easier said than done, I know I can do it if I stand my ground. Stand my ground. Stand my ground, stand my ground. Nobody said it would be easy, and your life, it don't come with a rule book. Still you push right on through. It's wherever you are, just spreading yourself thin, working 2 jobs just to meet the ends. The rent and bills, the pay, but there's no food. You tell your kids when they cry to you, you say, I'm a soldier for the Lord. He is worth fighting for. The enemy will not prevail. About to fight to the very end. In this battle, I'm a warrior. I'm protected by the armor. Victory will come right when I'm about to lose it. Stand my ground and lift the way that the Savior wants. Though it's easier said than done, I know I can do it if I stand my ground. Stand my ground. Stand my ground. Stand my ground. I'm ready for war. I got my mind right. All of God's angels are on my side. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. The enemy team, I know I will conquer. I'm fully dressed for this battle. The Holy Spirit is my armor. I can handle it. God's word is like a sword in my hand. I got faith, I don't need to understand why. Evil comes, almost died. I really can't thank him enough. This boy, he's my shield, and in him I trust. In this battle, I'm a warrior. I'm protected by the armor. Victory will come right when I'm about to lose my faith, lose my mind. As long as I'm trusting you, Lord, I will stand. Stand my
And we certainly just thank you so much. And again, if you're just joining us, this is a video of a special guest, Seychelle
Elise.
Elise.
You can call me Say.
There you go. I like that. Let me, and I thank you so much. And I really like the beat.
Thank you.
And I like the message.
Thank you.
I like the message and I like the beat.
Amen.
But tell me about the production, because it seems like I saw a lot of mirrors in this New Jersey.
Yes.
And tell me about the production. I understand that your husband was involved in the production.
Yes.
Okay.
My husband, Khalil Folsom, which is the grandson of Jack Folsom, the son of Jack Folsom Jr.
Right.
He actually produced the entire album. This was one of the first tracks that we wrote for the album. He created this track, and I really just felt it, and I begged for it, because at first he was going to sell it to someone else.
Okay.
But I'm like, please, just give me a shot. I think I can make something that will satisfy you over this, satisfy you for this track. And he was, really excited about what I wrote, and we collaborated. He wrote the hook to the song, but he's really a dynamic producer.
Yeah.
He can pretty much make anything, and I'm just really thankful that he was ready and able to just create some hot fire, as we say, for the album, so we can get these messages out and, like I said, appeal to the youth.
One of the things that I was told before you got here is that somehow you were trying to make sure that the mirrors, because in the video, where many people, artists, were for graffiti was there, but you turn around and put something good,
That's right.
the graffiti out and put the
graffiti, yeah. So I live in the city of Newark, and since the riots and everything, the city was really broken down. Right. Along with Mayor Cory Booker and our new mayor, Ross Baraka, they got together with some of these great artists all across the United States, and even I think some international artists who came out, and they got rid of some of that. And I think it's 54 murals all across the city of New Jersey, and they are beautiful. So I highlighted some of them in the video, because I felt like a lot of people needed to see that we're cleaning up and it's looking good. Yeah,
but it's a beautiful story about that.
Thank you.
Tell me how can we get the album? How can we get it?
Okay, so A Sinner's Prayer is available everywhere, all digital outlets: Amazon, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, all that good stuff. And I actually do have physical copies available in God's World Bookstore right here in Detroit. And I do have more physical copies. If you, at request, you can either contact me via social media, or you can contact my father-in-law, what do we call him? Agent?
Right.
He's a great support. You can contact him directly. They'll be available at some churches as well in the city of Detroit.
Is it a number we can call just to make sure? Okay. What is it?
It's on the. We do have flyers, and the phone number I will provide for you.
Very good. Okay, that's it. And you can be for me in the morning. You're gonna be there for me in the morning. That's great. Yes. One of the things, I'll let you go, but I want you to know. First of all, I was looking forward to seeing you, but I never met you before. But the thing about it is that you have a wonderful personality.
Thank you.
For this, you have you basically just you have this aura about you that really says that God is all in you and in you and around you, and for that I'm very grateful. A lot of times people, they do the work, but they don't believe what they're doing.
Amen.
And I can tell that you believe in what you're doing, and it comes through the interview, but it all comes through the song itself. And I love the fact of stand your ground, because when you talk about what happened down in Florida, and that kind of a thing, but you took that and switched it around. And if you want to stand your ground for Jesus.
That's right.
Stand your ground for God.
That's right.
And I like that. It's a wonderful. You give your husband, tell him he's all right. He's all right. He's got a lot going for him.
Thank you.
And again, I thank you so much. You've got a lot going for you too.
Thank you.
What's next for you? Where you think God is taking you?
I'm just ready for the ride, ready to enjoy the ride. I do plan on working on a Christmas EP.
Okay.
Where I can do some of the Christmas songs, maybe put a little flip on it, and put a little Seychelle flavor on.
Okay.
But so that's what's coming up next, and just looking to really promote. It took us 7 years to work on this project. And
7 years?
7 years. We had to wait until God was ready. He made us wait. We weren't ready.
Okay.
He made us wait.
And the name of the album is Sinner's Prayer?
A Sinner's Prayer.
Yeah,
Yes.
A Sinner's Prayer.
Mm-hmm.
And is at God's World?
Yes, it's at God's World
and
Bookstore.
various other churches that's in throughout the area. But
Yes.
that God's World is a good spot.
Yes.
Because, I mean, we all know where that's at.
Yes.
And then, of course, you have some at the Little Rock Baptist Church tomorrow.
Yes.
And we'll have some. We'll get some and keep them there for other people to come back and get them.
Amen.
And so, but I wish you well.
Thank you.
I thank you for the connection that you brought from basically relationships from the past. And
Full circle.
And I just want you to know that I'm very grateful to you, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you. God bless.
And give me what? How did you? This is a beautiful first name, and I just have a problem with pronunciation from my stroke. Did your mother give it to you? Or did you go
Yes.
pick it up?
No, that's my real name.
It's
That
a
is my
beautiful
real
name.
Thank you. My mother.
What did she have in mind?
Well, my father wanted to name me Allegra, but my mother wasn't having it. She was
Your
sitting.
daddy wanted to name you what now?
Allegra. My daddy. Shout out to Johnny. But he wanted to name me Allegra, and my mom was like, no. So she saw a commercial about the precious coins from the Seychelles Islands on the east coast of Africa, and she said, oh, Seychelle looks like a cool name. That looks like a nice name. And she named me Seychelle, so that's really my first name.
It's a beautiful name. I mean, but it's a name that basically almost resonates that you're going to be successful.
Thank you.
It
God
really
bless.
resonates.
God
I mean,
bless.
you go by the name, you know. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. We'll take a break. I'm gonna bring you up to date on what's going on with my program that's coming up on Saturday. We got about 200 people that will be there, but about 70 people from around the world that's coming here from business and talking about investments in the city of Detroit on this World Conference of Mayors that we have put together at MGM downtown. So I'll be right back and close this out. But I thank you so much for being here, and thank you for watching. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.